Hey everyone, this is Kaizen here. I'm going to be casting a 1v1 Protoss versus Zerg that my friend sent me. We got OrbitalRun, the red Protoss, up here in the top right corner, and then on the bottom left corner of the map we have BigDan, spelled with caps and lower cases. In the bottom left is the blue Zerg. Orbital here is just probing up, building several probes. It's going to open up the production tab over here for you guys. He's going to wall in because he's versing Zerg, and that's what you should do, so Zerglings can't do a run by into your base. This is a smaller map over here. Zerg sending his overlord to scout across the map, and I'm pretty sure they know that each others are across from diagonal positions. I don't think a player can spawn there or there. Those are all expansions. High yield with the rocks over here. The second high yield over here in the middle map. Those are pretty hard to hold on to. This probe is going to scout the Zerg player over here, BigDan. Not sure if he can see that spawning pool. We'll find out. No, he did not see it. You kind of want to scan around the mineral line, but it's tough because you don't want to get your probe trapped, and he does do that. So kudos to OrbitalRun right there. And he sees exactly what's going on, and he's 8-pooling right here, guys, because he's gonna go for a quick Zerglings, which is kind of decent to do against Protoss, but by this time he's gonna have a wall in. He's got the forge going up, 2 pylons, because he did scout that early spawning pool, so he's throwing that right up there. Zerglings take out that probe, and here they go. They're running up the map, and they're not going to get in because this wall's pretty secure. Cannon's going down. Doesn't have a gateway yet, so that cannon's going to be his one saving grace. Look at supply count right here. He's got 12 probes versus 16 for the Zerg, but 3 of those are Zerglings right there because 1 Zergling equals 2 supply. And yes, that cannon stops it. And the Zerglings run back. He did lose 1 over there. Yep. And his overlord's about to scout this, but that cannon's going to send it turning back right away. If he turns around, is he going to turn around? He does. Is he going to make it out? We'll find out. Let's see, let's see, let's see. And he does with 4 HP. Incredible. I'd say this is enough cannons. I don't think he needs any more. Smart to put a pylon always on the other side of your base to give you map vision, so you can look around and you can be wary of any drops, nidus worms, or anything else they try to sneak into your base. This 1 gateway is going up. Zerg's double gassing now that he saw that he blocked in. He's been using the queen fairly often, but still has too much energy. You should be at 0 if you're using lava every single time, unless you have a second queen up. I'd probably would throw down spawn creep tumor so that you can spread your creep if he's going to have that extra energy. Because now he's always going to have above 25 energy throughout the game. The 4 HP overlord, which regenerates health over time, is flying back to the Zerg base. Good idea would be keep him in the middle kind of here so you can see if any army's going to run by. But one smart thing to do with your Zerglings is put them by the watchtowers, and it gives you pretty good map vision. You really only need 1, but he made 6 Zerglings for that rush. Most players like to get out 4 Zerglings, 2 to kind of scout around, and then 1 for each watchtower. Or if there's 4 watchtowers on the map, 4 Zerglings for each watchtower. If you get burrow fast, something nice to do with the Zerg, which you did not get, you need a layer. But you burrow Zergling right over here, and when they go to plant their expo, it can't go down because there's a Zergling burrow there, and that's a real pain, especially if they don't have any observers for Protoss. I mean, you could throw a scan as Terran, and that wastes a mule, but it's kind of tough for Protoss if they're not going Robo, which I don't think he's going to have a Robo out for a little while because he's going Stargate. So burrowed Zerg would definitely slow him down. He went up layer, so see what he goes here. He's going Hydras, which is always smart. Hydras rock gateway units. He didn't have too much vision of what Orbital built. Actually, he has pretty good vision. He knows everything Orbital's doing. But he has no clue about those stargates. So he knows the front. I don't know if he's even saw that gateway. All he knows is that he's walled in. Usually at the 8-minute mark, 6 to 8 minutes is when you want to sack an overlord to come right over this way. He should have kept one down here and just fly it through, and he could have caught a glimpse of these stargates being built. Gonna go back to everyone view, and he's getting out 5 hydras, which I probably would get roaches too, just because hydras are frail, but they do a lot of damage, and roaches are gonna take that damage while the hydras shoot the units from behind the roaches. It's a nice little army composition. And there goes his roach dead. See, they listened to me even though this game was played in the past. How devious is that? Let's see, he's got 2 more pylons. Zerg's about to get supply blocked. I mean, roaches and hydras are both 2 supply each, so this is where you need to pump out some overlords. He's not doing it though. He's getting overlord speed. I never get that as Zerg. I could see the use to it, especially if you can use them for drops and scouting, but it's just so many minerals to get that I never waste it on that unless I am planning a drop build. Expands at a high yield here, which does not get scouted. It's tough if you're going air as Protoss to get out of Observer, just because the Robo's not in your build order at all. I mean, you go gateways and you go Stargates, Fleet Beacon for the extra power-ups, but you never really go Robo. It's something you have to throw out there if you want to detect cloak units, but it's tough to remember to build it. Just like you really don't build a forge unless you're walling in, and something you should build for the upgrades further down the road. Got extra cannons here. I think these are kind of unnecessary, but because he's going air, he's going to have the extra minerals to spend and the lack of gas. Probably would have expanded at this point. I mean, that Zergling's still watching it, and because he is walled in, it is tough to expand. He's not saturated on this by any means. Let's take a look at the units. He's got 25 probes, so about 5 more will saturate his mineral line and geysers. So it is about time to expand for him. He's pushing out with his air army here. 3 phoenixes, 2 voids. Protoss is scouting, the Zerg is scouting around with some Zerglings to see what he can find. It's a pretty good place to hide the units there. He's going to spot it, but no, he did not see it. Let's take a look at that real quick. Oh, he might have caught a glimpse of that Phoenix there if he was watching the map. And he definitely caught a glimpse of that one. So he knows some kind of airplay coming. I think he positions his Hydras right here so he can intercept that. Oh, but why is he moving them? I guess he thinks he's going to come to his mineral line. It's a good place. But surprising units right here, because a lot of people don't use attack move. He'd fly right over getting shot at repeatedly. He's going to be caught out of position here. His Hydras are on the other side. And without that creep spread, which I mentioned earlier, these Hydras are going to move very slow off a creep. And there comes the attack. Hydra shoots so fast. You saw how fast that Phoenix went down. Just bam. Spots the Expo here. It's not really saturated enough to work. Sacrificing. Oh, look how fast they shoot. I think he has that range upgrade. If not, he's probably researching it. Yep. Researching attack +1. Let's see if he has a range upgrade for his Hydras, which, yep. It's the first thing you want to get, because they make the Hydras that much more useful when they have that extra range. So, Orbital's in a tough spot here. I mean, he's going massive air, and Zerg's going awesome counter it with mostly Hydras. I mean, I don't even think there's a roach on the field right now. 3 roaches, so 13 Hydras, 3 roaches. Pretty much can clean up this air army if they can stay in position. But without that creep spread connecting his 2 bases, it's going to be very tough for these Hydras to keep running back and forth from base to base. And this is where you need that 3rd queen. Spread that creep. Snipes the queen. There's only 1 Hydra here, and the others are going to run slowly back over here. It's tough for them to get over in time. Spore Colony is going to push these Phoenixes back, and he's getting a Spire now to deal with the heavy air. Although Corruptors aren't the best against Phoenixes and Voids, unless they're massed number, I would say 10 to 15 of them. Oh, that sucks. Losing the Phoenix right there, almost losing another one. That Phoenix right there with 0 shields and 20 health flying away. Shields will come back, the health will never come back for that guy. Smashing up some voids here. Got 4 voids, 3 phoenixes, and a few zealots. Probably building more zealots here because, like I said, his gas is low, but his mineral count is going to be high because when you're on one base, you're not getting a lot of gas, but because you're saturated on your mineral line, you're getting a lot of minerals. And, I mean, zealots are awesome against hydras if they have charge, although he got that Robo Bay, but it doesn't have a Twilight Council, so there's no charge yet. So the problem with that is these zealots move so slow, and by the time they get to the hydras, they're pretty softened up, especially if there's a bunch of hydras right there. If he had Burrow here, could have been a real pain. Stopped him from expanding. And he's getting the awesome counter for hydras right here. He's cutting air, I hope. Oh, got one more void. But here's where you should cut air and just go Colossi, because Colossi is what you want against hydras. They just roast them like it's barbecue day. Zoom. And all those hydras go by, especially with no corruptors or whatnot to deal with the Colossi. They'll pretty much own most of those hydras. He does have his Spire up, I believe. Yep. So he can get corruptors when he needs them. He has a lot of minerals there, but not a lot of gas. Scouting with a Phoenix over here, that 20 health Phoenix, just to see what's going on. And no Spore Colonies are going to take him out. Oh, and there he goes, dead. He has an Observer in the middle of the map just to see what's going on. He's had that high yield for a while now, and he's building a Spore there. This base would be nice to flush with Zealots. Just come down here with charge if you catch the hydras out of position. Yeah, no creep spread from the Zerg. Guys, as playing the Zerg, you want to get a second queen out. It's only 150 minerals. He's got 1300, and just spread that creep all through here. That'll make it so much more effective for these hydras to come around and defend both bases. It's also going to give you vision around this area too. As you spread your creep, you can see whatever the creep sees. But without the 2 bases connected, hydras are going to have a tough time going back and forth. He's got a bunch of mutas up. Mutas are good for harassing. They're not that good as an army unless you get a crap load of them. And all these minerals spent on mutas just sitting here are a waste, in my opinion. If you go mutas, you want to use them. Even if it is to take out this guy, take out this pylon, circle around here. You know, cannons in the back. You gotta harass with mutas. Taking, what is that, 10 mutas and just sitting there, 9 mutas, is a waste of resources. That's 900 gas, 900 minerals, not doing anything for you. Like I said, the mutas come straight into this army. They're not going to do much. Finally expanded at the 18-minute mark, and he's protecting this expansion fairly decently. Kind of would get 1 here and then 2 here rather than this concave here, because it comes up through here. It's going to destroy this one, and this one's not going to shoot at all. So it's kind of like, I guess you want to protect that way, but you're only going to have 1 cannon shooting at a time, depending on which side the Zerg wants to come up. I always thought this map kind of favors Protoss Colossi because he can have them up here, and any army that comes around here just gets zapped. Also, keeping Colossi here will keep the Zerg from getting a nice concave around him. So Zerg's moving out with his Roach Hydra army, which is always a nice unit composition to go against. Gotta be careful when you move because you saw it got split there if he was intercepted. And you're going to see what I mean about the Colossi. If he does attack here, being pinned into this little thing. Something nice to do with the mutas, harass. Gets his army out of position. And there's a Colossi. And this battle's probably going to favor the Protoss here. 2 Colossi in the back are just going to fry these Zerg up. He should have moved those mutas in to take out the Colossi, but as you can see, 3 Colossi. The Voids are great at taking out the mutas. Should have went Corruptors instead of mutas, and he cleaned that up pretty easily. He's going to move out now. He didn't lose much except for the Zealots in the front to absorb the damage. This 1 Colossi is pretty weak, but he's alive. 2 more Phoenixes. Don't think he needs Phoenixes right now. Could have got a few more Stalkers. Stalkers are great with Colossi to protect against the air, but Zerglings are just going to get fried right here. 4 roaches aren't going to do much against this. Maybe you can snipe this one. Picking up that roach with the Phoenix right there takes him out of the battle while the Void's just snapping down. Sending a few more roaches, but I think Hydras would be a better fit right now. And he GG's. Kind of preemptive, but he had tons of minerals. Should have expanded one more time at 21 minutes, but that was great play by Orbital. Switching to Colossi when he saw those mass Hydras, cutting back on the Voids. Really saved him that game there. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'm out, guys.